Greetings and a warm welcome to this week's edition of 401k Real Talk. This is Fred Barstein, contributing editor of wealthmanagement.com's RPA Omnichannel and CEO at Trout, TPSU, and 401k TV. I review all of this week's stories and select the most important and interesting ones, providing open, honest, and candid discussion you will not get anywhere else. So let's get real. First story, like a Pandora's box, the issues and lawsuits against TIA for their advice and managed accounts products seem to be imploding, with the latest lawsuit filed by Schlichter on behalf of participants from various universities. Driven by market share loss and revenue declines, the complaint alleges that TIA, with the help of Morningstar, also named in the lawsuit, used their advice tool and managed account service to steer clients into high-priced and very profitable proprietary funds. This lawsuit and another one filed last year by Dartmouth participants follows a 2021 SEC fine. Just recently, according to CNBC, a whistleblower filed a complaint with the SEC about similar issues. Morningstar was cited because they were held up as a trusted, objective, and unbiased resource. At the heart of the suit is the failure to act in participants' best interests, and shows that even large plans with quite knowledgeable administrators might need an objective third-party resource like an advisor or consultant, unless, of course, they have their own managed account or investment products. Next story. CITs have officially overtaken mutual funds as the most popular target date fund wrapper, with more than 50% market share and $1.9 trillion as of June 30th. They have been capturing more of the flow since 2020, with 67% in 2023. Driven by lower costs, less scrutiny, and flexibility, allowing larger groups like advisory firms to negotiate fees, they have overcome many of the issues, though advisors and clients still do not have a clear understanding of them and may need some education. Next story. Just as mutual funds democratized investing for the average person, which grew exponentially inside DC plans, access to private equity would give investors the ability to invest in private companies as IPOs dwindle. According to a Georgetown University study, DC participants would have enjoyed a 15 basis point increase over a decade if they had access to illiquid assets like PE, real estate, and infrastructure used in many DB plans. A recent column makes the case for PE in DC plans, highlighting the value as well as the issues, including illiquidity, lack of transparency, and high costs, much of which will be overcome by new wrappers and as more money flows into professionally managed investments. It's also a good way for advisors to distinguish themselves, just as wealth advisors have been doing, though again, training and education may be required to overcome issues. Next story, small account balance can be burdensome for DC plan sponsors. So many use a third party to force out $1,000 to $7,000 accounts into an IRA if they do not make a selection, or pay participants directly if they have less than $1,000. What most plans and advisors may not realize is that the selection of a force-out vendor is a fiduciary act, which would then require documented due diligence about the fees, types of services, and investments. Plans may be limited by the vendors their record keepers work with. The DOL has recently proposed an auto transferability rule, while 6 of the largest record keepers, along with the Retirement Clearinghouse, have created the Portability Services Network to facilitate easier plan-to-plan transfers. These issues will only grow as smaller plan creation increases. Next story. The world appears to be on fire with a pivotal election looming, global conflicts, and the growing influence of technology, especially AI, as we awaken from the post-COVID world. Read my recent wealth management column about how these global and existential issues are causing fundamental changes to DC plans in what used to be a relatively sleepy and insulated industry, and why some players may be left without a seat when the music stops. Finally, I've started a short weekly LinkedIn poll, which has gotten tremendous response. Here's the latest question. Retirement income will be available in what percentage of DC plans in 3 years, whether standalone or embedded in a target date or managed account? Just 13% of you thought that 50% or more of the plans will offer retirement income, while 70% thought it would be available in less than 25% of plans. Stay tuned for the next poll on Friday. So those were the most important and interesting stories from the past week. I listed a few others worth reading and covering. Should we be benchmarking outcomes, not fees? How the match may be changing to enable lower income participants. Fidelity details expected healthcare costs in retirement. The K through 12 retirement plan market is still pretty ugly. And active growth equity funds lead 401k investments. Please let me know if I missed anything or if you'd like to comment. Otherwise, I look forward to speaking to you next week on 401k Real Talk.